everybody, Lindsay here, and we are plowing headlong into part 2 of Forgotten Franchises Best of the Best, Best of the Best Part 2.
You have a vision in sight, put yourself to the test, be the best of the best. The best of the best.
Yes, we are on to the second installment of Best of the Best. If you'll remember, previously we looked at the first installment, the foundation upon which this 4-film franchise is being built. And it was a sports drama film starring Eric Roberts, Philip Rhee, James Earl Jones, Sally Kirkland, and Chris Penn. So first of all, when it comes to part 2, let's take a look at who we have returning from the first film. We have Eric Roberts, Philip Rhee, Chris Penn,
There's a new boy in town!
and Walter, the kid.
Dad's not gonna want to hear about this.
Eric Roberts' son Walter are back. These are the 4 main people that we have returning from the original film. We had a pretty regular VHS cover last time. Looked like a sports drama. We go from that to this, where we've got a big muscly dude holding a big metal rod. And it says on the back, in addition to the plot, the film's fight sequences owe their realism to actor-director Philip Rhee, who plays Tommy Lee, who holds black belts in Taekwondo and Hapkido, and who was a member of the 1980 United States Olympic team. His brother and film co-star Simon Rhee, who plays Daehan, is also a well-known fight choreographer and stunt coordinator for television and films. And they kind of have taken the reins over of this franchise after that first movie. So all the fighting and stuff is directly a result of Philip Rhee and Simon Rhee, 2 brothers, Tommy Lee, Daehan, making sure we get some great shit in these fight scenes. And we do. It says, get ready for the ultimate challenge. This film was released in 1993, so 4 years after the original film. And where do we find our characters now? Well, the 3 of them, Philip Rhee, Eric Roberts, and Chris Penn, have opened up their own karate school outside of Las Vegas. And Walter's one of the students. But that's what they're doing. They've opened a karate school. In addition to helping out with the school, Chris Penn's character, Travis Brickley, is also doing some underground fighting.
This is Travis Brickley! A 5-1 underdog!
And he's doing this underground fighting at a nightclub in Las Vegas. Well, not just a nightclub, because underneath this nightclub is a fight club called the Coliseum. And at the Coliseum, there are no rules, no refs, and no holds barred.
There is only one rule.
And at the Coliseum, you have to fight your way through 3 preliminary fighters. And after you have successfully defeated those 3 preliminary fighters, then you get the chance to challenge Brachus.
The champion of the underworld, Brachus!
Now, Brachus is the owner of the Coliseum. Yes, we are already way off the rails with this second film. We go from sports drama, U.S. karate team, James Earl Jones, to underground fighting at the basement of a club in Las Vegas. And Brachus is played by none other than Ralph Moeller. Big dude. big guy. Brachus's right-hand man, his hype man, is played by none other than Wayne freaking Newton. And this is one of the best pieces of casting, especially for a movie like this. To have Wayne Newton playing this type of character is sheer genius. It's a boon that they got him for this character, because he really elevates this film to another level with how much fun he is obviously having shooting this film. He's having way too much fun in this movie.
Through the roof, yes!
Give me a little kiss. Thanks.
Mr. Wayne Newton. And I absolutely love how they have this nightclub set up, because upstairs is the nightclub. They've got people dancing. They have professional dancers there in costumes and stuff, and go-go dancers and stuff. But below, where the fighting happens in the Coliseum, you have the betting area, and there's people down there watching through like glass at the floor level, watching the fighting going on. But then above them are the really special rich people, and they get to look down on the fight. So there's levels to this. But they're making a lot of money with the betting and stuff on these fights. So it's very important to put on a good show.
And you love it, yes!
Chris Penn comes in, Travis Brickley, and he fights the first preliminary guy and just mops the floor with him. And he's very cocky and very, very cocksure of his abilities.
Sorry about that, Sinbad.
After the fight, you know, he's canoodling with this girl in the green room or lounge or whatever where the fighters hang out. And Wayne Newton's in there, and so's Brachus, and Chris Penn is like, you know, I'm fucking awesome. I don't know why you're wasting my time with these stupid fighters. Just let me fight Brachus. I just want to fight Brachus. And Brachus obliges him.
You have a big mouth, boy.
And a big everything else.
He tells Wayne Newton, set up the fight. We'll show this guy. Set up the fight.
Well, then, give him what he wants.
You want Brachus?
Yes, I do.
You got it.
So the fight is on between Chris Penn and Brachus. And what are Tommy Lee and Eric Roberts doing during this whole thing? Well, they're camping. They're camping out in the desert with Walter, because Walter is getting ready to test for his black belt at this school that they own, and he's very nervous, and Eric Roberts is very nervous because it's his son and he's also the coach, so it's kind of weird and a little awkward. And at his test, he has to do all these karate forms and stuff and movements, and he also has to break a brick. He has to break a brick for the final test to get his belt. And wouldn't you know it, he can't break his brick because he's a little bitch. No. He can't do it, but he handles his defeat very, very well. He doesn't freak out or shout or cry or anything. He just handles it like a man. And so his dad's very proud of that. Even though he did not get his belt, he's still very proud of him. And when they go out to eat to celebrate later that night, to celebrate the people who did break their bricks, Eric Roberts gets up and gives this very awkward speech about how proud he is of his son, even though his son didn't get his belt, and even though he's a coach and he's got all these other students there who did get their belts, he's really proud of his son for not getting his belt, because he showed him he's a man.
You have become a man, and I'm just so happy to be your dad.
So he's a man now in the eyes of his father, and that's very important plot-wise going forward, because it's a bit of a catalyst for what comes next.
To Walter Grady.
And also at this dinner, we're introduced to Meg Foster. Yes, we have a bit of a relentless crossover thing happening here. If you remember, in the Relentless series, Meg Foster played Leo Rossi's long-suffering and eventually dead wife.
But if you act like a victim, you're gonna be a victim.
And in this one, she plays Eric Roberts' girlfriend. And that's about the extent of her involvement with the plot. She doesn't do much. She's just kind of there. She's in a couple scenes, doesn't really do much, doesn't affect anything. But hey, it's Meg Foster.
For KXRT Sports, I'm Sue McCauley.
So since Eric Roberts has told his son that he's now a man, a couple nights later when Eric Roberts and Tommy Lee are gonna go out on a double date, Walter says, well, you said I was a man, and real men don't need babysitters, so I canceled the babysitter. And so Eric Roberts says, well, Chris Penn is gonna stop by later before he goes to his bowling league, so go with him, because you're not allowed to be here by yourself, because you're fucking 11 years old.
Tommy, we're out of here.
Chris Penn shows up, Walter gets in with him, kind of blackmails him a little bit to take him with him. But he doesn't know that Chris Penn is not going bowling.
Are you kidding? Tommy and Dad would freak out if they knew we were even going near that place.
Whoa, 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 Walter. What do you mean we?
He's going to fight Brackus that night.
I slip.
You're blackmailing me, Walter.
That's correct.
So Chris Penn sneaks a minor into this underground fight club through the back door. And who's the guard at the back door? Oh my God, it's Kane Hodder.
Got a buddy with me. I think it's better he comes in this entrance.
Okay.
He's not the same character as he was, or maybe he is. He's not the same character as he was in the first one, the big bad bar bully guy.
As far as you go, puke.
No, he's the back door guard in this one. So he bribes his way in to get Walter in and stashes him up top with one of the spotlight guys. Gives him some booze and says, hey, watch this child for me while I go participate in an underground fight. And Chris Penn is so fucking cocky. He's really cocky. He thinks he's just gonna wipe the floor with Brackus.
Take a good look at this place, Walter, because after tonight's fight, it's gonna be mine.
And that does not happen. He really gets his ass kicked. It's obvious that he has lost the fight. So remember I told you that there's people down looking through the glass? Well, those glass windows get covered up by curtains and these flames come up. And in true Coliseum fashion, they ask the audience, live or die.
You privileged few must decide life or death.
Thumbs up or thumbs down? And the audience is full of a bunch of bloodthirsty rich people. So obviously they're like, kill him.
Or does he die?
Just kill him. We want to see blood, kill him. So Brackus gets him in a headlock and breaks his neck and kills Chris Penn. In front of Walter, who screams and runs away before they can stop him. But Chris Penn is dead, and Walter runs home to tell his dad, hey, I just saw Chris Penn get killed by a big giant dude at a nightclub. Dad! At first they kind of believe him, but they go to the club to find out what happened. And they're told some fairy story saying, oh, he just got knocked out and we put him in a cab and sent him home.
Got his face messed up a little bit, but he did walk out of here on his own two legs with some bimbo with her tongue in his ear.
But Wayne Newton lies. He lies right to their faces.
I put him in a cab and sent him home. I'm sure he'll be fine. Don't worry.
Cut to, they are pulling Chris Penn's body out of like a quarry or some kind of body of water. They make it look like an accident. They make the police think that he got drunk and got into a car accident and got ejected and died. So it's a cover-up.
The police are saying it's an accident.
There's a huge cover-up.
Tommy, we gotta do something.
So then they go back to confront them again. They're like, our friend's dead, you killed him, what the fuck?
What is this?
They just pulled our friend out of the river.
And in the midst of them confronting Wayne Newton and Brackus, Tommy Lee scars or cuts Brackus in the face. He punches him and he hits his face into a mirror and gets a little cut right here. And this really pisses him off. Like, really pisses him off.
Brackus!
And you know, they kind of fought their way in and out to do this little confrontation. And what this movie does a lot better than the first film did is it showcases Philip Rhee / Tommy Lee's fighting abilities. And it also showcases the lack of Eric Roberts' fighting abilities. Because it's a lot of just standing, he'll stand there and he'll do some arm movements, but that's about it. But no, we get a lot more of Tommy Lee's abilities in this movie. They're very much on full display. So then we go to Travis's funeral, Chris Penn's funeral, and it's very sad. And guess who shows up? Oh my God, it's Dahan. Dahan and crew show up from the first movie because remember, he pledged himself to Tommy Lee. He's like, I will be your brother. Since I killed your brother, I will be your new brother. And he reaffirms that pledge at Chris Penn's funeral. Like, hey, you got some shit going down? I'm here for you. I'm your brother, blood for blood. You need me, I'm here, let me know.
Let me help you. Blood for blood. I owe it to you.
So then we get another scene with Meg Foster that has no bearing whatsoever on the plot. He's just mad at her because she won't use her position as a sportscaster for a local television channel to dig in and promote the fact that Chris Penn was actually murdered and not got into an accident. And I don't know why he really expects that from her because she's a sportscaster on a local network.
Oh, your goddamn job.
It's been a busy day in the world of sports.
We are about to enter another level of insanity with this movie. You thought we were doing a lot with underground fighting and neck breaking. Oh no. Oh no, because now we have goons with guns chasing children on bikes. Brackus has sent his fighters and his other goons and toughs to kill Walter and Eric Roberts and Tommy Lee. Just kill them all. Just shoot them dead. So they follow Walter from school trying to kill him, and he gets away. He eludes them, gets home, tells his dad everything.
He's just a kid, man.
But they're interrupted by the goons with the guns.
Wait a minute! Wait a minute! Eric!
And again, we get some very spectacular martial arts choreography from Philip Rhee in this scene.
You wanna shoot me? Huh? Shoot me now! Shoot!
And we get the first of two amazing arm breaks in this movie. And this first one is one of my favorite bone breaks of all time in any movie. It's really fucking gnarly because it's not just a snap. It's like a push down and twist, and it's balls up, and I'll just show it to you here. Pretty fucking gnarly. So all hell has broken loose at this point. We've got dead people, we've got guns, we've got broken arms, and so our heroes hit the road to try to lay low and do some training and prepare for this big battle with Brackus. So we've got Philip Rhee, Tommy Lee, Eric Roberts, and Walter heading out into the desert. And where do they go? They go to this old gas station, truck stop kind of place in the middle of nowhere in the desert. And who owns this place? Well, it's owned by a little old Native American lady. And who is this little Native American lady? Well, evidently, she's Tommy Lee's grandmother.
Grandma.
Grandma.
Yes, Walter is just as confused as all of you are.
Grandma.
Grandma.
And Eric Roberts says, don't worry, I'll explain it to you later.
I'll tell you later.
He makes that promise, and the only explanation that we get later, which is like 2 seconds later, is him turning to Tommy saying, oh, she's the one who raised you, huh? And he goes, yeah.
So she's the one who raised you, huh?
The one.
But raised after what? Because, I mean, he was 8, 9 in those flashbacks with his parents in the first one. So, like, what happened? Did his parents, like, get super depressed or something after the death of his brother? And so they couldn't take care of him anymore. So they gave him to this Native American. Like, what's the story? We don't get that story. It just is. So we'll move along.
Grandma.
Meanwhile, Brackus is back in Vegas nursing his little cut. Like, this is, like, he's got Dr. Doom levels of vanity over this little cut on his face. Like, his perfection that he sees when he looks in the mirror is forever altered because of this little cut on his cheek that Tommy Lee gave him. And he will not rest until he gets vengeance for that scarification.
Bring me the one who did this. Do you understand?
So we have met Tommy Lee's native grandma, and not only does he have a native grandma, he also has a native brother/uncle
I think you should talk to James.
kind of thing.
Who's James?
It's never really explained,
Who's James?
but it's some kind of male family figure
Who's James?
in Tommy Lee's life,
Excuse me. Who's James?
played by Sonny Landham.
Well, look who's here.
Billy from Predator. And he's a violent, angry drunk.
I'll rip your fucking ears right off your goddamn head.
And no, I'm not talking about Sonny Landham. I'm talking about his character, but he's pretty much playing himself. He's pretty much playing himself in this.
Pretty good.
James. He plays James. And James used to be a fighter too until he lost really badly and turned to the bottle and then came home in disgrace. Yes, he's playing a violent drunk that's sooner kill you as look at you. He's playing himself.
Drunk? This is nothing.
They obviously do not like each other, but they write him off as just a miserable drunk, which he kind of is.
Yeah, you have goddamn mind.
Oh, to hell with you.
But they don't have time for this because it's time to train, and it's time to train in pure best of the best fashion. We've got running, we've got pull-ups, we've got push-ups, and we have deep V-necks. And we get kind of a back and forth like we did in the first one between their training process and the opponent's training process. In this one, we go back and forth between their, crude desert garage gym stuff to Brackus, where he's got a bunch of people running at him at the same time. But Grandma is worried. She doesn't think that Tommy Lee and Eric Roberts are going to be able to do this without James' help. So she goes to James and she's like, hey, if you don't fucking help Tommy, you can get the fuck out. So he sobers up and decides he is going to help Tommy. And he goes up to Tommy, he's like, hey, I need to train you because I've seen Brackus fight. I know who he is. And not only that, I am one of 3 people in the world who can teach you how to beat him. He actually says that he is one of 3 people in the world that can teach him how to beat Brackus. And so he starts training them. He also knows how the fights are gonna go. Like after you get to a certain point in the fight, a gong is gonna go off, and then you're gonna have to fight with big sticks after that.
If you ever get past the preliminaries, you're gonna have to fight with these things.
So he has them training with some sticks. And just like in the first film, he knows that you can't just train your body to defeat this enemy. You have to treat your mind. And to train their minds, he decides they need to go into a sweat lodge. We have to go into a sweat lodge and have a vision. And Eric Roberts doesn't have a vision. But Tommy Lee has a vision. And it's a vision full of flames and fighting Brackus and getting punched in the face by him over and over again. And it's a vision of fear and failure. It's not a good sign. Sonny Ladman thinks they're ready for the next step of training. They're gonna hit the road to do some other high-level training.
You get a good night's sleep, and tomorrow we begin our journey.
We don't get to know or find out what that is because the next morning, they've been found by Brackus and his bad guys.
Easy. Easy. Come on, let me see your hands.
They have guns, and they have a helicopter, and they have gasoline. And what they're gonna do is they're gonna take Eric Roberts and Walter and Grandma and the other people who are there, take them inside, shoot them one by one, set the place ablaze, let it explode, and take Tommy in the helicopter back to Vegas to fight Brackus. But they didn't count on Sonny Landham. Nobody does.
Get down, goddammit!
And he takes out one or two of them in spectacular fashion, but he's overwhelmed and he gets shot to shit, but not before he takes a giant knife and shoves it in a guy's chest. Then he gets taken out execution style with two to the back of the head. I don't think he'll be able to pack that pain away.
Just pack it in.
So yeah, they take them all in there into the room and they're gonna shoot them all while everyone waits outside for some fucking reason.
Hurry up. I'm hungry. All right. Turn around and down on your knees.
But the kid distracts the one dude, so they get the gun away from the one guy that's in there. They only sent one guy in there to do all of this. They shoot the gun 4 times to make them think that they're all dead. Brackus's bad guys are such bad guys that they don't even want to wait for their guy to come out after supposedly shooting everybody.
Can I, Mr. Finch? Let me do it.
So they light the fire to explode everything without even waiting for him, because they don't care, because they're just that awful of people, I guess. But we get an amazing explosion in this movie. They got a lot of different angles. They got far away, up high. It was quite spectacular. Brava.
I always told Gus smoking would kill him.
Our plucky heroes are able to survive the explosion because they hid under the chicken coop where Grandma keeps the chicken feed. They hid in the chicken feed bunker to survive that explosion. I think they would still be a little injured because it was a pretty big fucking explosion, but they survived, so they're alive. Tommy Lee doesn't know that. He thinks they're all dead. He thinks they all got shot in the head. And he's off on his way to Las Vegas to prep to fight Brackus. One of my favorite moments is this next little scene where Brackus is confronting Tommy Lee, and he just grabs Patrick Kilpatrick by the back of the neck and just throws him. It's so silly.
Enough! I said enough.
They explain to Tommy Lee, you know, we're not just gonna go in the backyard and fight. No, you have to fight in the Coliseum. You have to work your way up like everyone else through the 3 fighters, and then, if you make it past them, then you can fight Brackus.
Curtain's going up in a few hours. Show business is my life.
Because they want this in front of an audience, they want people placing bets. They want to also make a fuck ton of money off of these fights. So our first fight with Tommy Lee in the Coliseum is between him and this boxer. And he dispatches him 2-3 hits tops. It's over pretty fast. And it's funny because Wayne Newton like wants Tommy Lee to do this banter thing because he's a showman. He's all about showmanship. He's trying to put on a good show for these people that have been stuck in this place. That's one thing that I didn't go into earlier. All the extras upstairs in the dance club and downstairs in the Coliseum, they're all the same extras throughout the entire movie. These people are stuck there. They can't get out. They can't escape the Coliseum. They're doomed to be stuck there dancing and betting and cheering for all time. So we got the first fight out of the way. The second fight is with a wrestler guy. And again, it's over pretty quickly, and the finishing move at the end of this fight is quite spectacular. Something I hadn't seen before.
It's not over yet! Ah!
Now we get to the third fight, and the third fight is the best fight in the entire goddamn film. It's better than any fight we've seen previously with any of the goons, and it's better than the end fight with Brackus. Because we have two people that obviously know a lot about martial arts and are good with martial arts choreography, a lot of fun, inventive moves, and a lot of moving parts in this fight as well. Because not only do we, like I said, we get a lot of different cool moves and kicks and stuff like that, but we also get a couple other weapons. Because this guy, he's got some great kicks and a great look to him, but he's also got this long ass braid that he keeps wound around his neck. Well, at one point in the fight, when he's starting to lose, he unwinds that thing, and we see that at the end is like this sharp, hard metal ball thing that he whips around to hit people and to hit Tommy Lee. Pretty cool. I'd never seen anything like that. And he also has nunchucks. He has metal nunchucks that he uses a couple times. But we also get the second arm break of the movie, and a pretty good one to boot. It's not as good as the first one. Nothing will ever top that first arm break. But this one's pretty good as well. And again, just the different moves that we get during this fight just blow everything else out of the water. So he has made it through the 3 preliminary fighters and is ready to take on Brachus the following evening.
I look forward to killing you.
Don't bet on it.
We get one last appearance of Miss Meg Foster because Eric Roberts drops Walter off to her because he can't take the kid with him. We need to get rid of the kid. So they disappear from the movie from then on. He's forgiven her for not using her prestigious sportscasting position to highlight his friend's murder. So they're all good now. So Eric Roberts links up with Dahan and his crew to infiltrate the Coliseum to go in and rescue Tommy. Tommy still thinks they're all fucking dead. We get a final little training montage before the big fight. Nothing super fancy. You have Tommy Lee doing some floor exercises and Brachus is doing this. What that prepares you for, I don't know, but it looks cool. But this is the big fight. Fight time, big fight, big money, big bets, big stakes. Eric Roberts gets back into the club through the backdoor man, through Kane Hodder. He stabs him in the hand with a pencil. That's kind of fun.
Son of a bitch!
Dahan is already inside watching the dancing girls, making friends with people, trying to blend in. But they start to fight their way down to the Coliseum. And as this is going on, the fight is starting between Tommy Lee and Brachus. And Tommy Lee is holding his own, you know. He's doing his thing, he's fighting, but for some reason, every time he knocks Brachus down, he like stops. It's like this is the Coliseum, there's no rules. Finish the fucking fight. But no, he's got to be honorable or whatever and lets him get back up a bunch of times. Stupid. But he does do this cool floor kick thing that I think is a really neat move. But he's lasting long enough to where it's now time to fight with the sticks. And these aren't sticks, these are fucking metal poles. They make sparks. And we keep going back and forth between them fighting, and Dahan and Eric Roberts and crew fighting their way down. And Dahan and his crew do some really, really, really cool moves. They kick this one guy like into a display window. And then I think it's Dahan does this like triple kick thing where he kicks 2 guys in the face, and before he hits the ground he kicks another guy in the middle in the face. It's really fucking cool. And Eric Roberts is doing things too. He's doing things too. But Tommy Lee just cannot find it within himself, find the strength now that his friends are all dead. He cannot find the strength and the will to beat Brachus, and he's losing. He might get thumbs down. And you know these people, they're totally gonna thumbs down him. But just in the nick of time, Eric Roberts kicks Patrick Kilpatrick through one of the viewing windows, and Tommy Lee sees that his friends are in fact not dead and that they are very much alive and they have come to rescue him, and that gives him the final oomph to defeat Brachus. And defeat him he does. He doesn't kill him, but he defeats him. He's like, stay the fuck down.
Stay down and live.
And even though all the people around him are like, kill him, kill him, kill him, thumbs down, kill him, he still doesn't do it. But Brachus can't stay down because he's got this ego thing. He just can't let it go. So he tries one last ditch effort to beat Tommy Lee.
Tommy, look out!
And Tommy Lee breaks his fucking back. And kills him. He's forced to kill him. He had to. He had no choice. He wouldn't stay down. So Tommy Lee is now the owner of the Coliseum, because that's what happens. If you beat Brackus, you are now the owner of the Coliseum.
The new owner and master of the Coliseum, Tommy Lee.
You're calling the shots. You're telling Wayne Newton what to do.
Jim, this is it. You gotta talk to these people. See a few things. Do it for me.
And what is his first order of business as the new owner of the Coliseum?
The Coliseum is closed.
What?
He shuts it down.
Wait a minute. Hey, wait a minute.
Completely shuts it down. And Wayne Newton just can't believe his ears.
This is not chicken feed. This is $20 million a year, champ.
He's like, are you fucking crazy? There's 20 million a year going through this place. I think there would probably be more. A casino, well, I guess it's not a casino, but a dance club / underground fight ring. I think that would bring in more than 20 million a year, don't you? Maybe not.
Think about this.
They shut the lights off. The Coliseum is closed. The movie is over.
You'll be back. You'll see, man.
Don't bet on it.
And that's how it ends. We don't know what's gonna happen after this. Are they gonna sell the place or turn it into their karate studio? I don't know. Many different things could happen. And we'll find out when we check out part 3. Who's gonna continue on after this installment? Well, Chris Penn isn't, that's for sure. So we've got Eric Roberts and Philip Rhee and Walter the Kid. That's who's left. And Dahan.
Dahan.
So we'll see where it goes into part 3. See who continues to be the best of the best. But that's gonna do it for this episode of Forgotten Franchises. The Best of the Best Part 2. The Best of the Best 2. So stay tuned until next time when we check out Best of the Best 3, No Turning Back. That's the full title. There's no turning back after this next one. I think we've gone pretty fucking far already from where we started in the first one. You know, we had this nice little sports drama about coming together as a team and overcoming our personal demons to find out the true meaning of winning through honor, to underground fighting, arm-breaking, execution style hits, and Wayne Newton. And we're only halfway done. Where could it go from here? Where do you think it's gonna go from here? Please put it below in the comments. I would love to know your guesses. I know we've got some heavy hitters as far as cast coming up, but stay tuned for those surprises. But that's gonna do it for this little video. So until next time, this is Lindsay signing off. I'll check you later.
You have a vision.